Yo, what is good everyone? Take It Trades here. Back with another trade recap of the day. Let's get into it. Took one trade and I took one trade for 0.14 RR, which is absolutely ass. I didn't do well today, but I know what needs to be done. I basically secured a winning day, but how I secured the winning day is a question. Alright, let's get into it. Going into the day, yes, I had this 4 marked in case we wanted to go for it. Boom. We're in this 4 gap. We're in bearish order flow, alright? I was actually thinking of longs because we had good LR above. So we are in this 4 gap, correct? Alright, so in this 4 gap, what do I see? I see a trend line here. So I'm like, okay, bet. Going 30 minutes, we had a huge dump and now we're just consolidating. So I'm like, okay, bet, let me just be careful. We had an SMT at these lows. SMT over here. SMT over here. And we had another SMT at these swing lows. Which then, this SMT was used to push us higher into EQ of this huge dump. So boom, we get that. Holy dump, by the way, right now. Boom, we get that. And we're in this 4 gap, so I'm like, okay, but I see trend line here, maybe you want a long. So what's the condition for longs? This 15-minute gap. This 15-minute gap we need to bounce off of this if we want longs. And I was leaning longs because just looking at the draw. But we had London lows as well. And this is like my bread and butter setup. We have an SMT and this leg fails. So if we fail, if this gap, this is our condition for longs, right? If this gap doesn't hold, then we short the London lows. It's that fucking simple. And ES had its 1 hour gap here. So that 1 hour gap is also our condition. Now, going into the trading day, what would be the trade of the day? I see we're stalling at this trend line. So this is my new protected point. But if we create a new higher high, this is my catalyst for longs all the way till, I don't know, maybe here. But I'm like, okay, fine. We need to see a bounce from here and some inversion, something up here, which would make me long there. This is my condition. But obviously, this leg fails. So boom. At this point, it's pretty fucking obvious that we're shorting. Directional descending, and this is my directional descending stop loss. Because if we literally rejected and we dumped. So if we make it above this high, then we're not longing at all. So then we're not shorting. So what would the trade of the day be? I'll be like, damn, bro, am I really gonna get left? I'm like, okay, fine. Hopefully I get filled. Boom, limit this 1 minute gap. Stop loss like above the CE of this wick. Hard stop here above the CE of this wick. and TP at 1 is to 1.5, which is my London lows right there. This is the trade of the day. You know what trade I ended up taking? I'm like, oh fuck, it's gonna leave without me. This is what I took. Can you believe it? I literally entered on this candle. I'm like, damn, bruh. My stops are all the way up here. And then, boom, it took me out for a winning day. Can you imagine that? Literally just FOMO'd into a winning day and I got my winning day. But that was the trade, and that was a trade I ended up taking. Um, I saw that we continued to dump, and I liked these lows on ES because at this point it's clear that the 1 hour gap is not. This is also a good trade of the day because if you make a higher high, then the 1 hour gap ends up being respected. This is also a really good trade. What's also a good trade is you see you're stalling at trend line. We have an external SMT, we have an internal SMT. Having my stop loss at a trend line and at an SMT is always the best. You put in a protected point in price and we displace away from it. We put in a protected point in price, displace away from it, directional deciding stop loss. Where can we manipulate? This equal highs is with a 50-minute gap, which also lines up with EQ of this range perfectly. So where can we if we are in bearish order flow, where can we manipulate for distributing lower here? Does it qualify for trade of the day? Yes, because directional deciding stop loss, good drawn equity, good risk reward. And we're just failing to go lower, so could have just longed like anyway, just longed. Stop loss here. Just rode it into the horizon. Just rode it until market closed, basically. But yeah, that was the trade. That was my trade, trade, but directional deciding. We had an SMT here too. So this SMT pushed us higher, which created this SMT, this external London high SMT. But with this SMT pushes into EQ, and because we're in bearish order flow, then the market considers this SMT as to continue the bearish order flow. And then obviously because we had this SMT first, I'm like, boom, this is my condition, bada boom, condition, boom. So yeah, that was my one trade. But hope you guys figured out the trade of the day. Peace.